Hello, and welcome to another episode of Knitting Up North with Jen and Karina. I'm Jen.
I'm Karina.
And today is May 18th. It is episode number 5. And we had a fun morning. We got together, we had a little breakfast, and we went to the soft opening of the yarn cabin, which was so much fun. Got to see the shop and Angie. We got to see old friends that I haven't seen, Jenn and Jean, and like in 7 or 8 years. Like it's been a long time. So it was super fun to catch up with them.
I got to meet Pam.
You did.
Very
Yes.
sweet.
Pam is like resident. I don't know how she knocks out knits like a madwoman, but I think every shawl sample in that shop was made by Pam.
Really?
Oh yeah.
In your shop?
No, in the yarn cabin.
Oh,
today.
in the yarn cabin.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Wow, really?
She's a beautiful knitter.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we purchased a few things there, which we'll show you during acquisitions. We got to see Katie from Hummingbird Yarns, and of course Angie from Pearls and Pines, owner of Yarn Cabin. So it was just a fun way to start our Saturday together.
Yep.
So perfect. Well, we do have a few administrative things to get into today. First of all of our winners from last episode contacted us, so all of the prizes have found their homes, so that was good. Man, we couldn't give that first hank of yarn away to save our lives from episode 1, but this one was a lot easier.
Good. Yes. Yep. We have happy people.
Yes. We also just wanted to do a quick shout out about Shepherd's Harvest. Oh man, we were so bummed that we told a lot of you we would be there and had every intention, and family issues and situations crept up, and when given a choice, we're always going to choose our families. We've been watching some other podcasts where we've seen them doing footage and stuff, so it was fun just to kind of see it. We got to catch up with Corey of iRock Knits last night on Zoom and for knit night, or at least I did, and it was fun to hear about Shepherd's Harvest, and so we're sad we didn't get to see some of you, but there'll be more opportunity. And yeah. So should we talk about the cowl a little bit?
Yes.
All right, so splash into Advent, hashtag splash into Advent. And it's going to actually be hashtag splash into Advent 2024, just in case we want to do one next year, right? That we can distinguish. So it's going to take place from June 29th until August 24th. And that will be so that we can go ahead and announce winners on the August 31st podcast. Listen, we're super easygoing. When we turn this into something we can't have fun with because we make it so complex and crazy, like we're done. So we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to have fun with it. And it is Knit Advent. So like you can have Advents you've started, works in progress. The goal is to finish things. So the winners will be drawn from finished objects, but everybody should hashtag spring or splash into Advent 2024. And we'll have fun playing around. But I know I have 2 goals to finish. I want to finish my Pink Christmas Suburban Stitcher Fade into Advent wrap, and I want to finish my crochet blanket in the round with Jacob's Ladder for my mother-in-law. It was for Christmas last year.
Yeah. So this is the idea here is the knit along is to get anything that you have on the needles or don't have on the needles from your 2023 Advents that you got at Christmas time. Good way to use up that Advent yarn and get it out of the way for getting ready for this Christmas Advents. I have a couple projects on needles that I want to finish. Totally intended to finish them last Christmas. And I ended up knitting my husband his sweater instead and working on that. And so they're languishing, and I'm waiting for the knit along to get them finished and get ready for the next Advent season.
Yes. Yep. So, and they can be 10-year-old Advent whips. We don't care. Just get them off the needles, finish them. So we can order and support these designers and get more Advents. And I'm sure we'll do something Advent-y at the end of this year because we love Advent season, both of us.
Yeah, it's my favorite. We should talk about what we're wearing.
Should we?
Yes.
Yeah, you go first.
Magnolia Bloom.
It's so pretty.
Camilla Vad. I got a little blank there. I was like, what? Yep. I knit this spring of 21, I think.
It's so pretty.
I went fast with it. The yarn, I don't remember the name of the yarn. It was, Jen used to own the yarn shop in Bemidji. And we told the story before about the totes in her basement, and she's like, a couple of us got lucky, got the invite to come over and raid the totes. And this yarn was in there there was blue and pink. And so when I decided I just love and I'll insert a picture of me standing up with it so you can see the full, I originally knit it with no buttons. I didn't do the buttons because I'll tell you why. I was afraid of knitting buttonholes. So I was like, I'll just wear it. But the thing is it's heavy. And
you kind of need them.
You need the buttons to keep it on. It's heavy. And so it just kept falling off my shoulders. And I wasn't wearing it. So then I did afterthought buttonholes, just 3 at the top. And I really like the effect.
It's so pretty.
So yeah, it's held with that, whatever the yarn was, and then you have a little bit of mohair in there. That's how I did it.
I'm working on a chunky weight sweater right now too, and it's just a good change of pace. It feels so good to knit.
I love knitting this. The thing about this pattern, when you go in there, the charts are wrong. She still hasn't fixed them. And so I highly suggest that you go read through other project notes. I left project notes too, so that you get your right chart. Yeah, they're labeled wrong, but people will tell you which chart to use when you're trying to get each size.
Okay, good advice. So I am wearing the Rose cardigan. We'll put a picture in, the Rose cardigan by Andrea Mowry. It is such a fun construction. You knit it side to side. You've got the beautiful cable detail.
I love this. This is my favorite. It's just so big, so beautiful.
And I use, this is, it's from a long time ago, but it's big, oversized. I love the sleeves are like super long. I don't love a long sleeve. Like I'm not going to wear it like this all the time, but I like rolling them up. I stashed dough for this, and the yarn is Yarn Less Traveled. I didn't have a great experience knitting with this yarn, to be honest. Like there's places where there was little stiff sections, like it was glued together or something. And a lot of them. Like here, you can feel one right here. All throughout, just like little bumps of, so I don't know. But I've also knit with, I did socks out of Yarn Less Traveled, fingering weight. This is a sport weight. And I never had that issue with that. So maybe I just got a bad batch, although these are like 4 or 5 different colors fading. So I don't know. It was, it didn't make it as nice of a knit. But I do love the finished object. I do wear it quite a bit. It's just a nice, cozy, oversized, throw it on with a pair of jeans, kind of lounge around in it. But
yeah, every time you wear it, it makes me want to knit one.
I kind of do want to knit another one, frankly, like in another, it's got like this big ribbing at the bottom, and it just tapers in.
Is it all fingering?
Well. No, it's sport weight.
Sport, okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure you could get away with a different,
maybe do DK
smaller size,
right?
Something like that. But I think the cable detail is so beautiful. I would, and you're never sure like how much you're going to wear something. But I wear this so much and I like it. And I don't always want to wear, crazy fun colors. But I'm thinking of doing one like in a darker, like a more tonal, an eggplant or a black or I don't know, olive. We'll see.
Olive, yeah, that would be pretty.
So anyways, that's what I'm wearing. A size 4. Oldie but a goodie. Love it. So what you been up to since we last recorded?
What have we been up to?
You've been doing, you want me to tell everybody what you've been up to?
My brain's, what have I been up to?
You have been really working on your backyard. Karina's a beautiful, like her plants and the landscape and everything is just, she's a very amazing gardener. And so you've been playing a lot with that, I know.
Lots of dirt, lots of plant shopping and filling in all the pots. This year, my husband, here, the little towns, there's lots, little towns, and he grew up in Bagley, Minnesota, mostly, and graduated from Bagley High School. And this year is the all-school reunion. And so his classes reunion, I don't know really how he did it. He did this. He offered us up. But we're having it here at our home. So there's an extra urgency I'm feeling to get everything planted, hurried up, so that by the first week of July, when they'll be coming here,
it's bloomed and looking
everything
good.
will be filled out and pretty, and the yard will be, it's just for a couple hours. They're just coming here for a couple hours. All this work, all this.
But you will enjoy it every night. You're sitting on the patio knitting, and
I do love my backyard.
You have a really fun backyard, and I like some of what you've added, like the planters up on the hillside that you didn't. They're just special. They look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, what else? Anything else you've been up to?
Just the same stuff. Kids, the end of the school year is wrapping up, and babysit my grandson 3 days a week while his mommy and daddy are at work. Kids and grandson keep me pretty busy.
Yeah.
Husband.
Yeah, we've been just kind of between the house. This time of year gets a little crazy. And I know this is going to sound, I'm going to sound like a spoiled brat, but we go back and forth between the house and the lake property, which is a wonderful, beautiful opportunity that we're blessed to have.
And oh gosh, what a pretty spot you have.
I know, we love it so much. It's really great. And it's a lot of back and forth, and it's only 15 minutes from where we live, but it's a lot of back and forth in that, you're taking, there's 2 ketchups, there's 2 mustards, there's things everywhere.
Right,
you don't have something at one place because you left it at the other
right.
place. And I know that sounds like an entitled, really bratty problem to have, but it's just a lot of back and forth and fun. And so and honestly, like, the weather dictates what we do, right? So we're going to stay at home if it's going to be windy and rainy. We're going to, maybe after work one day, go out to the cabin and fish in the evening until 9-10 o'clock at night if it's going to be a nice evening. And I think I struggle with that. Like, Shane doesn't. He's super like fly by the seat of his pants, like, oh, the weather's great, let's go. And I'm like, oh, but this was my only night to vacuum and do the floors, or I was gonna, you know what I mean? Like, so I find it hard to balance everything that is required when we're running back and forth. But, we make up for it in the winter. We play hard in the summer, and hibernate like bears and knit a lot in the winter, so it's fine.
Yeah, but, I know. I was telling my best friend since high school, Nicole, we were talking, she lives in Idaho, and she was giving me, I asked her for things that she's watched, recommend, and she gave me this list, and I said, oh, well, these will all be good for winter time, the binge watching in the winter where I'm sitting and knitting. Yeah, she gave me a great list.
Yeah.
And then I was telling her, like, the summertime, it's go, all the stuff, visiting the lake and the fishing and the golfing, and my son is getting married this summer, all that.
You're going to have a busy summer.
It's very, very busy. I'm turning 50 in July. There's that too. So lots of things going on. And yeah, I was just telling her about how I love this time of year, but then also, that there's going to be this point where you just get to sit and knit and binge watch. And I like that too.
We went to dinner with some friends on Wednesday, and I'm like, I'm watching Suits. I know, I'm late to the party.
So we are too. We're watching Suits too. Yes.
I'm always late to the party though. Like, my nephew's like, yeah, I watched that like 100 years ago. Like, not really, but you know what I mean? So, I am on the last season. There are like 8 episodes left, and I'm relishing them. I'm watching them 20-minute increments here and there because I don't want it to be over. Like, I don't want it to, because I have nothing in queue. But we went to dinner with friends, and Rhonda was like, okay, here's a list of things on Apple TV. She's like, do you have Apple TV? And I'm like, I do. I don't think, we don't watch it very much, but I'm probably going to go that route because I was watching previews. There's a lot of good things. But
see, Nicole was the same thing. We were talking about Suits.
Yeah.
And then I said, do you have, because when this wraps up, I would love something to watch to replace it. And because Mike and I at night, we unwind with it. We've been for a little bit now unwinding with an episode of Suits. And when it's done, I would be so sad. So that's how she ended up giving me the list of other things. Because she says she's watched Suits 2 times through.
I've heard that. And that's why I started watching Suits, because somebody said, yeah, I'm watching Suits again. I'm like, again? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's worthy of watching twice, and I heard that from a couple of people, that's so funny. Yeah, so it's good. It's good, good. So one more thing we're wearing. Shall we show them?
Oh.
So isn't it cute? It is knitting needle and a straight needle that Katie from Hummingbird Yarn, we talk about her all the time. Should we get her subscription box? But she had her grandmother's old needles and turned them into bracelets, and they're so fun. So we got these at the soft opening this morning. And of course, Karina's is pink. Mine is blue. I'm always going to buy the blue or the green. Karina's always going to buy the pink, but yeah, so that was really fun. All right, well, shall we hop into some FOs?
I only have one FO. You want me to go or you want you to go?
I'll start since I have a couple. Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So this is the Novelli tee. It was so much fun to knit, and it is knit in linen quill. So this is dark denim, this is sweet potato, and then pink peony. But oh man, when I left you last, I think I was right here. So it's worked bottom up. And I got the sleeves done. They have like sort of a really fun peekaboo. The inside is orange, so it just peeks a little bit. When you put it on, you can see it better. Kind of a boat neck at the top. It fits really well. I love it. But I don't know why I'm so stubborn. So we talk about like all these great things we make, and they are great. But I could do a better job of highlighting the things that I struggle with through the project. So I cannot get it through my thick head, like go up a needle size for your color work. And I don't know if, I don't know why I didn't. I have been better about that, but I think it was, you know, I was knitting on this when I went on my trip to Santa Fe. I didn't have a needle with me. I mean, whatever it is, whatever excuse, I could have waited and done the right thing. So it's a little, I blocked the heck out of
Yeah,
this.
it doesn't, there's not a lot of give in color work.
There's not. But it has a lot of positive ease up top, and it's fitting here. I have like a pair of white linen pants that just look really, really, it looks really good with it, and like some you know, sweet potato colored slingbacks. So it's just a really fun outfit, and it's super airy. I love it. And I'm in t-shirt mode. Like, I think a couple of episodes I said that I cast on the spring flirt, summer flirt tee, and that went woefully bad too. I'm ripping that one out. And you know what? It didn't. The pattern's great. The t-shirt's awesome. I did not like the pairing of the yarn and the pattern. So I'm gonna rip it out and just go a separate way. But I'm gonna cast on another tee this weekend. So that's my Novelli. I love it. I'll wear it sometime.
It's beautiful.
We wanted you to see it in the background since I would be sitting with it all, you know, below the camera. But yeah, super fun.
My turn?
Yeah.
So I finished. These are DK.
They're so good.
It's just a vanilla. I cast on 44 stitches. I did the afterthought heel on these. Where's this one? This is the Freckled Whimsy. I signed up for the Halfway to Haunts. It's you get one every month. I used most of it. Guess there's a little bit left here. This is what they get.
Were you on a size 4? Oh, there was a mini. Okay.
Yeah, so cool. Yep, you get that.
And you get this every month from now through Halloween.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Fun.
What's funny about it is I finished these, and oh gosh, I about squealed when I first opened it.
You were so excited.
I kind of forgot that I had done that I'd ordered it. And when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah. And cast on right away. And now they're done. And I wish I had the next one. So I looked when they came, when it came was around the 30th of April. So I still have a little ways before the next one's coming.
So, did you use the size 4 needle?
What is this? It is.
I love this pink color right here. It's very unexpected.
It's a size 3.25.
Okay. I like this pink so much. It's unexpected in the Halloween for me, but man, it's good. It pops.
Yeah.
So pretty. And you know what I noticed about these socks? These were like, wasn't this while you guys were in Vegas? You were traveling and knitting these, or no? All I remember is they went super fast. Like
Maybe I brought them.
You knit one sock in a day.
The first day I did it. This was the... I did, because I loved it so much. I was so happy because I love Halloween. And this bag, I don't know if I showed this already once. I'm sure I did. But it is... I did, but it is so fabulous.
It. Molly Klein Designs.
Molly Klein Designs, little bucket bag. So when the yarn came, I went, oh, goody, I get to get my Halloween bags out. And I grabbed this one because it's really, truly my favorite one. And so it's just sitting waiting for the next one to come. And then I'll cast on some more socks.
You will,
I'm gonna have
you'll have
all
fun
the
with that.
Halloween socks.
I love it. All right, my next FO are, it's launch day for these. It is the Lake Ontario Socks by Knit.
Gorgeous. I don't know, how do you do that?
Insane? It is, you wanna hold that?
There.
So I'm gonna take this one off because I wanna show you guys.
Look at those details.
Oh, they're bad. They're so good. Look at this stripe down the center. Like, you can see a little better. They're so fun to knit, you guys. So today is launch day. Lake Ontario Socks by Knit Zip Happy. The Nancy Wheeler. I love her. She's in, Knit City, Toronto. Is that this weekend? Knit City this weekend. Yeah.
God, they're beautiful.
They're so good. So the yarn that I used was BAH, B-A-A-H. BAH Yarns is this beautiful variegated color here. And it's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it is the base is Savannah. And then this color, this beautiful golden color, so did like a little, she has you do like the cast on, and then this little accent, and then this with the toe. And that is Ash and Bumble. I had gotten a Halloween Advent from Ash and Bumble, and I had that one. I had a little bit of it left, or actually I think I had the whole mini left, and I just thought they paired nicely. So run and go get you the pattern. Lake Ontario Socks, super easy, fun to knit. And I know they look complicated, like they're not. It's the easiest like repeat ever. It's an 8-round repeat. The first 2 rounds are different, and the others just oscillate between one type of thing and a knit. That's it. But it is beautiful. So and also today, I showed these last episodes, so I didn't bring them, but the Put a Little Love in Your Heart, they were the ones that were very colorful with the hearts in them. Those launched today as well, because those were collabs she did with Ginger Snap, and I can't remember the collab with this one off the top, but launched today. Go check them out. They're fun.
I don't have any more finished.
Okay. Let's just, I have a couple more things. So I showed this last time. So this is the New Mexico Sunset Shawl. And this was my original attempt. It's a new design by me, original attempt. And I ran out of yarn. Actually, I ran out of yarn on this one. You can see where I ran out of yarn right here. And I chose to get another ball of the Galadrill. So this is Dragon Horde yarn in the DK weight, the fairy tale DK. Tristan does an amazing job. This has 3 colors, 3 hanks of DK weight. This one, remember, I ran out, so it's actually got like 3 1/4. Like, so I've redone the design, but it's separate. It's got the beautiful I-cord separation. It's out for test knitting right now. And I'll show you, this is the redo. So it comes down to a point, it's a triangle, 3 hanks, and it's just got the I-cord separation. Again, it's out for test right now. So super fun. Yeah, I can't wait to. And it's garter DK, so its squish factor is good, is really good.
Oh, I love it. I'm test knitting, so.
Yeah, and this one is in, that looks so good on you, that blue. This is done, this is the pattern that will be, this is the true pattern, right? Didn't run out of yarn, had plenty left, like for different gauges. But this is So Happy Jane, and this is Refresh. And this came out of the monthly, Karina and I both get the monthly box subscription from So Happy Jane. And actually, if you're interested in getting So Happy Jane's monthly subscription for the Delightful DK, or even she does a fingering weight one too, I think we both just chose the DK. Mm-hmm. These are all colorways that we've gotten through the months. So Refresh, this is Grow, the green one, and this is Pumpkin Spice. So I think I got this one late last year. But if you're interested in getting her subscription box, and we open them on here quite frequently, you will not be disappointed. If you do sign up for her subscription box, use the code UPNORTH at checkout, and you'll get $5 off. So thank you so much, Heather Jane, for giving our viewers a $5 off code UPNORTH. So cool. It'll be, we'll let you know when it launches, but the testers are having fun with it now. So it's fun to watch other colors come together with something. It's like really fun. So yeah. And then my last FO is a spinning FO. So
you spun that.
Yeah. So this,
wow.
This is, I showed this a couple of podcasts ago. It was that Bricolage Studio, it was that rust color, and then the Urban Girl Yarns was like the green color. So this is, this ended up being 280 yards. It's not quite a fingering, it's more of a 4-ply, but not quite a DK, not quite a sport. So it's, yeah, I don't know, I'll probably do color work. I still have, this is 2 ounces of each. So I may spin, I potentially could get another, 280 yards, but I'm thinking like, one of those fun, like Shift Cows by Andrea Mowry. And it's the fiber is, so Coopworth, Corriedale, Targhee, Bamboo, Tussa, and some Angelina, but just it's so pretty. And I, had another bit of fiber from Into the Whirl, that I got at Rhinebeck when we were there, and that one hopped on the spinning wheel. I'm very interested in, I've only ever done, I have an Ashford Joy spinning wheel, like it's a treadle, and I love that. It's not portable, so as we're going back and forth and doing all the things, and I'm like you, like I like to sit down and unwind with my husband at night and watch a show or do something. So spinning isn't readily accessible to me when we're doing that, right? Like you're, so then I got an Ashford e-spinner. And I love my Ashford e-spinner. Like I'll spin on the deck at the lake and just like, I'm on vacation in 2 weeks, and that's where you will find me. I will be spinning on the deck. But I'm very interested. Andrea Mowry, do you watch her?
I don't.
I'll knit if I want to.
I don't. I have it there. I subscribe, but I still haven't watched.
Yeah, her format is just her. It's about 20 to 30 minutes once a week. I think she releases on Fridays. And she answers a ton of questions. That's all she does is she takes questions from people and just answers them, which is super fun. And I've learned a lot from her about spinning and different types of draw and, just so you just play around. But I very much want to do supported spindle. I have a drop spindle, and I have successfully made yarn with a drop spindle. But I want to do something where I'm sitting watching TV with my family or a movie or whatever we're doing, so that I have like the dish and the supported spindle like in my lap and I can draw. So I'm looking for a supported spindle, but I'm thinking about like, I want a collection of them over time. So I want to be mindful about what I buy, that it's not like colorful and trendy, that it's artfully crafted. Like I found this one, it had like a little mushroom at the base, and then it went into and it's so pure, but it's sold out. Like lots of people are at festivals right now, so this time of year, so their inventory isn't online,
right?
So I'm just waiting because I don't feel the need to have it right now, because I'd rather find one that I'm just in love with and that I can start my collection with. So yeah, into spinning, loving that. Those are all my FOs. So we get into whips?
Sure. I suppose it's my turn to talk, huh?
Yes, please. Do it.
Well, so we just saw Jenn's design, her new design, New Mexico Sunset.
Yeah, I didn't even say what it was. New Mexico Sunset.
Yep, that's her new design, and it's out for testing. And I am one of the testers. So this one's mine.
So good.
So far, this is what I got. I'm very excited. I'm having a lot of fun.
Are you? That's good to hear.
I am having a lot of fun.
It's easily memorizable.
I took this out last night. My husband and I had dinner at one of our very favorite restaurants. It's just down the road with one of our grown kids, and had a good time. And while those two chatted about movies and shows that they like to do, and I sat and I worked on this. So it was...
So you could do it in public.
Totally sat there, and we were sitting at the bar, and yeah, it was fun. And
can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. What are these needles?
I'm gonna say Lykke, because that's what, when I see
they
it,
look
that's
like
what comes to my head.
Driftwood Lykke, and this is not. Oops, I just took your stitch up wrong.
No, this is a cord.
A different cord.
Yeah.
Okay.
That fits on there.
But they're interchangeable with other cords. I like that.
Yeah. Don't you have any?
I do have one Lykke set. It's the Lykke. I don't. Everybody says that. Nobody knows how to say it. I should look it up. I shouldn't say nobody.
I'll still, even when I know the correct way to say it, I'm going to say Lykke.
Yeah, because you Lykke.
Because I like it. I like.
They're so good.
They are my favorite.
You have a pink set too, right?
I have gray, blue, pink, and then I have the shorter pink ones, but they're not. I don't know why I bought those.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna admit that I took the labels off and forgot which label goes with what. One of these did not have a name. So this is the So Happy Jane hand-dyed happy yarn club. So one of these was the fall 2023, and it was called macrame. One of them is called Grow.
That's the blue, because I use that one in mine too.
And then the other one doesn't have a name. So they're all, it's 100% superwash merino 4-ply.
Oh, look at this in the cake though. It looks really different in the cake than knitting with it, I think. It's beautiful.
Yes, I love the way it's knitting up.
I love the blues and the greens in there because you don't
think
expect it.
It went really good.
100%. It's beautiful. Yeah. The colors are just beautiful.
Oh, and
it's just squishy.
It just feels wonderful, so soft. It's gonna feel so good on your neck.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful design, Jen. I love knitting it. It's so good. So when it comes out, everybody should get it.
I love it. And you should show everybody that gorgeous bag.
I will when we get to it's part of the...
My bad. Your acquisitions. Okay.
Our community service.
Community service. I love that so much. Okay, where am I going first? Let's go to the Doppio sweater.
Wow, you got far on that from the last weekend. Wow.
Doppio, do you want to hold this? And then, if you don't mind, and then I'll show okay, so Angie, the dyer behind Pearls and Pines, the owner of the Yarn Cabin, we are putting together a fiber retreat, Karina and I, and we had a meeting with the attorney a couple of weeks ago, and there were Karina and I buying out of the back of her van, like a bunch of fiends. It was terrible. But I am holding, these are fingering weight, coconut and cashmere, or sorry, I said it backwards. I need that. Coconut. No, I always say it backwards. It's cashmere and coconut. This is a Minnesota dyer. So this one is blue sapphire. And this one is amber Oh, I grabbed the other one. I grabbed 2 labels of the same. Dragonfly and Amber is this one. Dragonfly and Amber, Blue Sapphire. By Cashmere and Coconuts, Minnesota Dyer. I love our local people. They're amazing. But this is an MCN sock base. It is 80% merino cashmere, 10% and 20% nylon. So I'm holding these double with this mohair. So triple hold, and the mohair is the Binge Knit by 3 Irish girls. So it was a collab for Stephen B. But isn't it making the most beautiful? I just love this so much. And if you hold it, like, it's got the golds and the blues. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, you know, back of van purchases aren't always well planned out. So I don't think I'm going to have enough. So this is going to be a folded, we'll put a picture in so you see it, or we already have, but it's a folded over neck, which I really enjoy. So I will do that. I'll do the full length sleeves. It's kind of a cropped jobby. I'm probably going to do that. But my goal is to get this exact combination replicated through the body and the sleeves. And then I think that the neck and the ribbing and the hem at the bottom are all going to have to be this held double with this. So no gold and amber in there. I just won't have enough with the Dragonfly and Amber colorway, which is fine because it will still look cohesive and good. But it feels very good, and I very much love it. Yeah.
Very nice, Jen.
So Doppio, and the Doppio is by, we'll put it up on the slide, or we'll put up on the screen. I have it. I don't remember who it's by right now, but we'll make sure we let you know. It'll be in the show notes. And I would be remiss if I did not share what I'm holding it in. This could be part of acquisitions, but as long as it's here, my Reds Lady Creates. Can you dig these gnomes? They're so cute, like little beach gnomes. Oh, his little hat really and the beach. When I saw this, I was like, come to mama. You will be mine. But Reds Lady Creates, you find her shop on Etsy. You'll find it in our show notes, but these bags are just a really great size. I have all of the hanks of yarn and balls in this project in there, and it's a pretty big sweater. So the Doppio, check it out. Reds Lady Creates, love her. Hi, Tammy.
Yep, we're fans.
Yes.
All right, so we've seen this before. I've been working on it, plugging it away. I gotta tell you, it's sport weight. It is sport weight, my Sasky, and it's taken a while to get through these sleeves. But I do have one sleeve done. And
I love it.
I got the next sleeve on the needles. So I'm really excited to get it done.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
I like the neckline. You don't see necklines like that very often.
Yeah.
It's a twisted? At the top, I mean.
Yeah, knit to the back loop.
Yeah. And then this
I did that.
Yeah.
Now see,
love that.
The pattern's not, I did that. She has another sweater that's like this, and I loved it, so I just did it. But I believe the pattern does not call for that. So I did knit through the back loop here. And I really like it. And
I cannot wait until you block this. It's beautiful like it is, but wait until it blooms and that stitch definition opens up those bunnies and all that detail.
Yeah, so it is knit in Imperial Stock Ranch Sport and Charcoal. I'm knitting a size 3, and I'm using the Lykke needles, the pink ones this time.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yes, I knit a little bit on it, you know, Sleeve Island. Gosh, I want to knit it, and I tell myself to knit it, but then I end up I have some socks on needles, and I usually end up picking up socks in the evening when I'm sleeping and whatever, because that's just easy. But this should be easy too. This is just, there's lots of decreases.
Yeah, you have to track stuff though. So if your mind is like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Sockville it is.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
I just-
And the bag is, I got sweet skein of mine.
Oh, Amanda.
I got the Easter Advent thingy, and you got this with it. And yeah, so I'm
So funny story.
I put
So
it
that
here.
was the day, remember, when I was like, oh, I'm like, I didn't know she was going to order it. She didn't know I was going to order it. We both wanted it. And I set my alarm, like I set a reminder on my phone with the alarm for 10 minutes before the shop update where I knew they were going live. And I set it for an hour, like, behind. Like, I missed it. I don't know if I set it for Eastern time instead of Central. I don't know what I did, but I missed it. And then Karina got it and I was like, but we didn't know it till we were together. And I was like, oh, my heart.
I had to, because bunnies.
It's so good. Yeah.
Bunnies are my
I'm
favorite.
glad you got it.
Easter, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's gorgeous yarn. I've already put it on a ring.
I love it.
So yeah, back there. I'm not gonna dig it out, but.
All right, you might remember last week, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, Franny Granny Poncho is going down. I know there was somebody in the comments last time who was like, yep, I'm doing that. So I was craving some crochet, which should have prompted me to pull up my mother-in-law's Advent blanket. Did not. New squirrel moment. Okay, so I am using Pearl Soho good wool, 100% Indian wool, and I'm using 4 colors. So this and that. So you have, this color is Walking Stick, Driftwood Gray, Desert Blue, and Wild Mustard. So you make, depending on the size, I'm making size 2. So you make 10 of these, and the gauge is like 3.5. Should I put it again? You'll probably see it better against the lighter color. I don't know. But you make these, 10 of these in my size, and I'm doing the size 2. And I've made 2. That's it. So you do a couple of these, some half triangles. We'll put a picture in so you can see. And then you do the top, and then where the poncho starts to unfold, I will actually take all 4 colors in, like do the granny round in one and just kind of roll through the colors, oscillate them. And then what I haven't decided, I am not a great crocheter. I can do the basics. Like I got gauge on this. There was a celebration. It was good. I'm a little nervous about, you know, like when you do ribbing and crochet, I think, like I'm talking about it like I know what I'm talking about, and I don't. But like, you know how like when you create ribbing, something through the back post, like all the thing, I don't know. So I was reading the directions because I literally read the pattern for the first time ever through and through before I started a project. I think that what you're probably going to see is that the neckline and the arms are knit. The pattern is crochet, but
That's what I would do.
I'm probably just going to knit them.
That I would do that.
So yeah, so that'll be super fun. But yeah, this, did you squish it? Yeah, you held it, but it's so soft.
What kind of wool it is?
Yeah, it's 100% Indian Highland wool.
Yeah.
But Pearl Soho, they're the ones that I just, my project bag is Harrisonville Designs. I got it in Rhinebeck when I bought yarn. Instead of a shopping bag, they gave you a reusable tote, which I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And I love the colors. Yeah, it has the New York Sheep and Wool 23 on it.
Oh.
So,
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And they had like, you just got random colors. There was like orange and teal, and I got this one.
Are you getting that?
Yeah, Bonnie and I both bought, well, to make that archetype sweater, which I'm another day. Anyway, we got it done. And then my last whip is also an acquisition, but it jumped on the needles this morning before I met you. So this is another bag by Red's Lady Creates. It's a really fun, this is one of my favorite just summer bags. It's a nice size, socks, shawl, whatever. But I signed up for the Woolens and Nash monthly subscription in fingering weight because I like a good self-striping. I haven't done self-striping in a while. But it's Woolens and Nash. And this is a Southwest Targhee fingering weight. It's the May 2024 colorway. And her names are super funny. So like, this is the colorway. It reminds me of some kind of bird, question mark. Like maybe a house finch, question mark. Like that's the name of the colorway. It's so good. But it's 90% Targhee and 10% nylon. It's a 3-ply. And you made the comment about how, wow, that's a really big skein for fingering. And it's 411 yards. And it also came with a mini. So I am using Chiagoo 32-inch cable, 1.5, US 1.5, 64 stitches. And this is a twisted rib. I'll do 20 rounds, but this is the heel toe dosey doe sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady by Kay. And I love how that pattern, plays with a self-striping yarn because it's got the zigzag. But we'll put a picture in. Heel toe dosey doe. And that is all of my whips.
Yep, I'm done with whips.
Should we asked for questions last time. Should we answer some questions? Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll ask the questions. Some of them we're going to both answer. Some of them we'll each answer, but we're just going to play around here. So one of the questions that we got off of Instagram is, which needles do you prefer and do they change by project?
I obviously love the Lykkes. They are my favorite. And when they come out with a new color, I don't know, there's something wrong with me. I just say, but I already have enough. I have enough. I don't need any more of them. But I do love them. And most of my projects are on those needles.
So
not socks. Socks I do the, I think, are they Chiagoo?
The Chiagoo?
Yeah.
If you're doing fingering weight. But like the DKs, you were using your Lykke.
No.
No? Oh, I thought those were the driftwood Lykkes. No?
No, it's this.
Oh. Yeah, Chiagoo. And so you magic loop then?
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, most all other projects are on the Lykkes. So
are you mostly like, do you change your decision about what type of needle to use depending on project with respect to if it's like stainless steel versus wood? Or do you not matter? Like,
it doesn't really matter. I just, I can, when I first started knitting, I chose wooden ones because things wouldn't slide off and I was so afraid of dropping a stitch.
Yeah.
And not being able to figure out how to fix that. And now I totally can, been knitting long enough that I can see when I've dropped a stitch and I know how to fix it. So I'm not scared to drop stitches anymore. And
right.
And then sometimes I'm knitting, when you're knitting with the with this type needle, not wood, aluminum or whatever, metal, it's like you go fast, that's how I feel like you're. And
it does go a little bit quicker.
I do like that. But I usually always grab my Lykkes to cast on new projects.
So I'm a Chiagoo girl, 100%. Like I used to be Haya. I really like the sharp points of the Haya. Didn't love the cables with the Haya. And then Chiagoo came out and I was an immediate convert. So I use all stainless. Except I did buy the Forte. I don't know. It's the Chiagoo Forte set. It is, I got mine from the Skein Yarn Shop in Rhode Island. If you guys don't watch the Skein Scoop podcast with Lori and Justine, go check them out. They're super fun. But Lori is the owner of Skein Yarn Shop in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. And she got them and I was like, yep, I want a set. This was like their 2.0, right? Because the first time they came out, they weren't great, but it's more of like a, oh, I'm not going to be able to think of the word. Not going to be able to think of the word, but I used the Ford set and the interchangeable Chiagoo, no matter what. And I have a ton of other needles. Like I have a Lykke set for wood. If I'm using, I will, if I'm using a really slick fiber, I will go for my Lykkes, like the driftwood set, because they're wood. Otherwise, everything else is all stainless. And Chiagoo's to the point that if it's something I want to use stainless for and I don't have the needles available, I'll put the stitches on hold. I'll do whatever I can to get those needles back. So diehard Chiagoo girl here for sure. All right, next question. So Karina, do you have a favorite way to do short rows?
Wrap and turn.
Interesting, really.
Always wrap and turn.
Okay.
I don't have to think about it. I just know it.
Why? Have you tried other methods? Or?
No.
Okay.
They say short rows, and then a lot of times they'll say use up or whatever, or even if they don't, I still just use it. As soon as I see short row, I just wrap and turn.
Yeah, because I remember, what's that cardigan you did? And it has the beautiful, it's blue and yellow, and it has the beautiful...
oh, yeah. The Winterfell.
Yes, the Winterfell. So I remember we were with Steph, we were out to breakfast, and you were knitting on that. I think we were even at Red Stew, maybe. And you were like, German short rows. Like, I don't even know what is a German. Like, we were working through it. So did you end up doing German short rows on that one? Or did you end up wrapping and turning?
Honestly, I don't remember.
You don't remember? Because I remember you hated them.
Well, I used to hate short rows because I was like, I just want to get with the knitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, make the thing. And I didn't really understand.
Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
The necessity of a short row. What exactly? This was early. That was an early sweater, and I didn't understand why you really, but I did them anyways because it said so, and I wanted it to be perfect. And now I understand what short rows are for, and yeah, I always do the short rows, but that's the one I go to, wrap and turn.
Okay. So I am a German short row girl. I love the German short row. I just think it's, you know what it is? It's like sometimes when I'm, and I will go back and forth. So if I'm working in a dark yarn like this, I am not doing a wrap and turn because I cannot tell where my last wrap and turn was. Like, unless I use a marker, it's just hard to see on the dark yarn. If I'm doing a lighter color yarn, I'll wrap and turn all day. That's fine because you can tell where it is. But if it's a dark yarn, I'm doing German short row because then you have like the stitch over your needle, the one stitch that you pull over that creates two. And so you can tell because it's on your cable that's where like, oh, okay. Because if it says like knit to 2 stitches before your last wrap and turn, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know. I can't. So I will go back and forth between wrap and turn and German short row. I think I do prefer wrap and turn until I'm working with a color of a yarn that makes it very hard to distinguish where that was. And I'm with you. Like, I want to knit the thing. I don't have time to be placing 100 markers and moving off things. Like, I do, and I probably should, but I don't. That's not how I knit. I'm with you. Like, get on with it. But as long as we're on the topic of short rows, so like one of the questions we got is, let me just read it because she says like, I've knit a couple of pullovers that fit wonderfully. They have short rows to raise the neck, but they still creep up and choke me a bit. Do you have any ideas for how I counter that?
So here, I'm going to say, I don't know. But if one of you is watching and you have a good suggestion, please comment and let us know how, but I just think that maybe more short rows. Maybe a couple more short rows to keep it. All of my sweaters that I've knit with short rows don't do that to me. The ones that don't have short rows do end up, choking you. So,
which makes sense, right? Because if your suggestion is to add short rows, you're knitting back and forth over a shorter span of fabric. So it's creating more length in the fabric. So if you did more shirt rows, that ought to give you more space so it's not riding up.
Right. It'll make your it's supposed to be a high up in the back and then.
Right.
So but if somebody has a better idea how to make it so that it doesn't do that, please let us know.
Yeah, because when we got this question, we were like, gosh, it's not something that has happened to us. And listen, we're all different, right? We're all different heights, different, circumferences, different, whatever. Like, we're all different. Short, I think of like, sometimes with patterns, like I have, a shorter torso, like, sorry, I said that wrong. I have a longer torso because I'm short. I'm 5'4", but my height comes from my hips up.
I'm 5'4" also, or 5'5". I was 5'5", but I think
I'm like probably 5'4.5".
I'm shrinking it. Yeah, 5'4.5", and that's not short.
No, I had my annual physical last year. This was right around the time like I turned 50, and I had my like Sorel wedge boots on, and I was like just under 5 foot, and I was like, the wedges are big on those things. And she was like, yeah, that's what happens when, and I looked at her and she was like, yeah, it just happens. And I was like, I know, I'm feeling it. Like, but anyway.
We're shrinking and
yeah.
That's what happens when you get our age.
Yeah.
You're shrinking.
So my husband said that he's fascinated. So listen, this is going to sound like I don't cook. I do cook. We both share. Like in the summer, he cooks and grills and smokes and does all the things. It's the most glorious time of the year when I don't have to do that, because I'm not like you. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'll do it, but I'm more of like a Instant Pot, like crock pot.
Oh, I love
kind of girl.
Yeah.
In the winter. And then he can do all the grilling and smoking in the summer. I feel like that's fair, right? So Shane has this thing. He follows Karina on Snap, and he's like, that girl is always in her kitchen. And I was like, she sure is. I'm like,
got a lot of people to feed.
Yeah, a lot of people to feed. So then he was like, oh man, the other day he's like, and I'm like, he's looking at his phone. He goes, oh man. And I was like, what are you looking at? The minute you say, oh man, he's like, my mouth is watering. Karina made sourdough. And I was like, so he's like, do you think she would make me sourdough? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to ask her to make it. She's busy. Like, she's tons of people to feed, like, whatever. And he was like, just looks so good. Store-bought's not the same. Well, I used to make sourdough because we all got the starter together, like, in COVID, during COVID, when it was a thing that you were at home and you made sourdough. Why was that a thing? I don't even know. But we got starter. We are making the sourdough, and I can't stay out of it. And I probably gained like 15 pounds. I was like, I'm done with sourdough. So then I told my husband, I'm like, I'll keep making you sourdough. I got to do something with I was making discard this and all this, that, and everything, like whatever, just trying to keep it going. And then I would make one, and then they wouldn't eat it. And everybody tells you, don't put that stuff in the fridge. Well, it would get moldy. Now, I know you put your stuff in the fridge.
I do.
Because smart, right? Who cares what they say as long as you can preserve it and eat it? I was making croutons. I was making toast. I was like, I know we had toast for breakfast. You're going to have it for lunch and dinner. So I got off the sourdough train, and he was like, so Karina, who's so sweet, made him sourdough. So we taking some sourdough home.
Started yesterday afternoon, fed my starter in the morning. And then in the afternoon, it was good and bubbly and whipped up, and then I put it in the fridge overnight. After you do all your stretch and pulls, fridge overnight. I woke up at 5:30 this morning to get it out of the fridge and let it sit on the counter. I don't know what other people do, but I like to let mine get a little warmer after the fridge, and so yeah. And then I turned the oven on at about 6:45, got it nice and hot, and plopped that baby in there. And I will admit that it's not the eating it. I'm like, I do eat a little bit of it. The family eats a lot of it. But I get excited when I wake up in the morning and I know that dough is waiting for me in the fridge.
You love making it. Yeah.
I do really love. So when she suggested or said that Shane would love a loaf, I was excited because I got to make a second loaf this week out of my starter. I pour a lot of starter down the sink. Because you have to feed it, and stuff. And I'm not going to make all the discard things. We don't Yeah.
It's not how you guys eat. You're a clean eating
We're mostly,
family.
yeah. Literally the sourdough is the only bread item that we really eat.
Same for us. Like, we don't eat much bread at all. And that's why when he asked, I'm like, okay, I'll ask her. Because he really was like, so how do we go from short rows to sourdough? Is it because we're getting shorter and wider and we need more short rows? I don't know. Damn sourdough.
Well, yeah.
That's funny. Okay. Another question was, if a sweater calls for a folded neckline, like I'm making on the doppio. So typically, for those of you who don't know what a folded neckline is, so you'll start with, instead of knitting like 1.5 inches or 2 for your neck, you'll knit, 3 or 4 inches, for your neck, and then you fold it over. So it gives it like this thicker, it's kind of a look and a vibe lately.
So that one sweater I did, the Ian, the purple one, has the folded.
Yeah, the one, yes. So the question is, like, if I don't want all that bulk around my neck, can I just knit half of the length of stitches? And the answer is yes. You do whatever you want. I mod so many patterns, not because I am better than, Sari Nordland or Camilla Vaude, but because they're beautiful, like, designs allow me to modify to my body. So my typical modifications, now I like a folded neck, but to the question, if you don't, knit half of what it suggests and bind off and be done. Or play with, how many rows you like. Try it on. Use try-on cords in your neck and just see how it sits and how it sits and how it's fitting. Because from garment to garment, it can be different. Try, if you're knitting a sweater and you're like, oh, that's just a little constricting, tear it out. It's just a neck. It's a couple of rows. Unless you're going top down, but typically you'll apply that afterwards anyway. But just add more stitches, right? Give yourself some more room. And start to pay attention to your knits and what you like. What are the things that you go grab for every time because they make you very comfortable and you love them? And then go to your project notebook and write down what the characteristics are of that project that you love, and then modify every pattern so that it has those things that you love. I'll talk a little bit about the mods that I typically make, and then you can talk about the mods you typically make. So I took an online sweater. I think it was like a craftsy thing or something. One of the suggestions was to pull a sweater out of your closet, handmade or fast fashion, whatever, anything that you love the fit of, and you could pull out 2 or 3 garments. Like, maybe you like the length of the arms on one, the circumference of the body on another, the length of the body on another. But get all of these measurements into a place where you know what your desired fit is, right? So I know exactly, like, I'm a 15.5 inches from under the arm, to where I want it to stop. It depends on the garment, but I'm 13.5 typically here. Like, write all your stuff down. And then you can modify patterns. So my mods typically are the length of the sleeves. I also very much love the look of a long cuff, but I don't want a long cuff down to here. So I'll start a cuff back here. I like the knit sip happy. So Nancy Wheeler taught me this. When I split for arms, split for body.
Sleeves.
I don't split. Yes, when I split for sleeves, and I don't know how to spit it out. When I split the thing for the things, so what she does, and I was like, at first I was like, huh, you do what? But she'll take, typically you'll take the same amount of stitches on the front, same amount of stitches on the back, equal stitches on each side. You're putting the arm stitches on hold, and that's where you join in the round and you're knitting in the round. What she does is, instead of putting all of the stitches, the same number of stitches on the back as the front, she puts more stitches on the front to accommodate her bust. Because your back is flat. And I was like, okay, like, in theory that makes sense, but like, I didn't know practically how that would work for my body. Love it. And I'm still it's a new technique to me, so I'm just playing. But that doppio I made, I took 5 stitches from the back on each side when I was separating and put them on the front. Does that make
Interesting.
sense?
Yeah, it
So
does. Yeah.
I'm still playing with it, trying to figure it out, but those are the mods I make. What about you? Are there regular mods you make? Your
The
cuffs.
sleeves. Sleeves, I don't like long sleeves because I am in the kitchen a lot and, you know, hands in the sink a lot. And I need to, you know, my hand knits are very precious to me and I don't want them getting ruined with things. So yeah, I stopped the sleeves a little shorter than, and, you know, I consider how they're going to grow longer usually in blocking. So yeah, I do. And then I have realized that I don't like wide cuffs. So I like the cuff to fit around here. And so I will get the tiniest needle depending on the yarn. But yeah, I like, you know, with my Sasky, I used the needle that I put on socks and just did a teeny tiny cuff because I like it. And if I need to pull it up, then yeah. So that's mostly sleeves is what I modify. Yeah. Sometimes I had to go back and with the Andrea Mowry's cardigan, the little yellow sweater. I did not like the way that fit me. I was so excited when I got it done. I cast that on as a my morning grieving my mother's sudden and unexpected death. And I really felt like the knitting was helping me get through the grieving. And so when I finished it, I was super excited, but then I hated it when I put it on. I didn't like it. Was just too, the cardigan, it was just too big around here. And I didn't like the way the cuffs had turned out. And then so I was going to wear it to something. I don't remember. Well, I was originally going to wear it to her memorial. Because of COVID, it got put off. So, but then there was something else I was going to, and I was going to wear it. We were going to something. Oh, yarn shop pop.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm not going to, I hate it. And then when I got home, after a little while, I thought, you know what, I can frog, I can rip out that stuff and redo it in a smaller needle. And that's what I did. And
now you love
now I love it. It fits so good. So, yeah, sometimes the necks and here or whatever, I can tell that I will use smaller needles to make it tighter on me so it doesn't fall off my shoulders. And
yeah, smart. But just learn yourself, learn what you like, and
try on a lot as you're knitting. Keep trying it on. Put it on the barber cords or whatever method, and try it on. My Sasky, I've tried on so many times just because I want it. I love that sweater. It means a lot to me, and I want it to fit me, and I want to wear it, and so I just keep putting it on.
Yeah, and that's motivating too, right? When you put it on and it fits you, you want to keep going. I mean, very rarely do things that I try on incessantly become a languishing whip, because I'm like, yes, it fits beautifully. I want to wear it. So, another question we got was about spinning. So one of you wrote in and just said, I got a drop spindle over the weekend, nervous to start, several exclamation points. Any tips? Just do it. So, and I know that's easier said than done, but do you remember when you were young and you got like a new coloring book or a new anything, right? Color by, or paint by number, whatever it was. And you were like, oh, I don't want to screw it up. Or you get a fresh new notebook and you don't want to write in it because you want it to be pretty and just what you want it to be, right? Like so many times we don't start things because of this apprehension that it's not going to be perfect or that we're not going to know. And we're not going to know what we're doing. Like news flash, just do it. Make it yours. First of all, check your expectations. So if you think you're going to buy a drop spindle and start spinning yarn and it's going to be beautiful, you're totally wrong. Your expectations are off. That is not what's going to happen. This is the only drop spindle I have. It's a Turkish spindle, and it's one where you make your cob here and then you drop it and you draft and then you start to like you know, put your yarn around, it ends up looking like a little turtle back, right? When it starts to build up. So let me tell you, like the first time I got this, it's a 3D printed, got it off Etsy, super cool. Just wanted to try spinning. So I get my fiber out. I'm all excited. It was fiber I had purchased at Shepherd's Harvest when we went that one time. And I get this out and I'm watching videos and I'm like, okay, get the little thing going, get everything secured. And I'm drafting and dropping and crap is flying everywhere and the fiber's breaking and I'm cussing like a sailor. Like it was, and then, yeah. So the first several times I've made lots of hanks of yarn successfully on this. I had to practice and screw it up and drop it. And I mean, it's got dents in it. Like I had to just do it. And I had to be okay with the fact that I wasn't going to be perfect at it out of the gates. So I know that's really, I know I say all that and I'm like, just do it. So that's part of it. You got to just do it. But the other part of it is get educated. Like what kind of yarn do you want to make? Back to the sweaters. How do you want them to fit you? Like what kind of yarn are you after? So I've shared this book before. I got this at, and it's one of many, many, many resources. Lots of resources are free. I like a good reference book, like instead of some online resource, because I write in this, I put stickies in it. Like, so it teaches, you know, learn about fiber, learn about, you know, the kind of yarn you want to make. I love Andrea Mowry is a great spinner. There's so many great spinners out there, but a lot of the things that I watch, people are just like, I don't set out to say I'm going to spin a fingering weight. I set out to say, I'm going to just spin and enjoy it, and whatever becomes, it becomes. So where I've spent my time is learning, you know, how to prepare your fiber, how to draft it, how to make it easier to work with, how to split it. Like if you get a braid and you know that you want some sort of spin cycle looking yarn, right? Like where it's all, you know, like barber pulled or, you know, whatever effect you're going for, like, learn about how to do that and as you go. So just spin, figure out, you know, sometimes I spin things no differently. I'm doing like a short draw or long and I spin and the different fibers give you different outcomes. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's thick and thin, sometimes it's really lacy. It just depends. And then you can ply it and make it what you want to be and just play around and have fun with it is my advice. Learn about the different ways to draw. So that's like the different ways you pull the fiber, short or long, to make what you want to make. And then just play with it and see what happens when you do those things. And none of the yarn I've spun is perfect, and but it's usable and it's fun, and I really enjoy it. So just dig in. That's my advice. Just dig in, just start, just do it. Color in the coloring book. It will be fine. Okay, the last question we got. So she writes, I just love your podcast. I'd like to know more about how you thank you, by the way. I'd like to know more about how you organize your knitting time. Do you dedicate a certain amount of time each day to knitting, a set amount of time on each project, or do you just know what brings you, do you just know what brings you joy that day? So you go first.
I want to knit every day, but some days it just doesn't happen. Especially on the days that I watch my grandson. Those are long days, and when I'm done, I'm so tired. After, you know, I watch him, and then I make dinner for my family and clean it all up and everything, and sometimes I just want to sit and just, I don't even have the mind to knit, because I'm just really tired. But otherwise, I love to bring my knitting with me when we are going out. I knit in the car. I knit at the restaurants. I don't care what people think. I get it out. Last night we sat at the bar. They've seen me a few other times. They're sitting at the bar. They asked me what I'm working on. And yeah, I don't have really a designated time. I just knit whenever I can feel like it and whenever I can. If I'm sitting outside on the patio, I'm knitting. There's times where I've been in the hot tub and thought, how can I bring my knitting in here?
I'm done.
I know people do it, but I'm too scared of a drop. But yeah, that would be like the perfect evening. Relax, you know, my back is killing me. Go get in the hot tub and
knit.
And knit. I would love that, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't have designated time that I knit other than just all the time. I knit all the time. I get up in the morning. I fill my water jug, I make my coffee, I sit down and I knit for a good hour, hour and a half before I go to work. And in the morning I knit on things that are, require more attention, right? Like it's a lace this, or that's when I'll do my designing, or, I'm doing raglan increases, or, splitting for sleeve, doing something that requires my attention. I do that in the morning. And then, I always have a sock on the needle because I knit all like that. This is a stretch. I don't knit all day at work, but when I am on conference calls at work where my full attention is needed, somebody's sharing their screen, or I'm engaging mentally in a conversation, really thinking, like thought partnering with someone on something, I'm knitting. I can't multitask on email or, instant message, or, let my fingers wander and look for this or that. Like I'm just knitting and engaging with that person on the content and the things we're talking about. I get a good 4 hours a day knitting in at work during those types of calls. When I'm not on those calls, I'm banging away on the keyboard, getting, my work done, doing all that. So I don't knit all day at work. But after work, I will, same thing, right? Like, get my errands done or my chores done really quick, like throwing a little laundry, clean the bathroom, whatever, make dinner. And then after that, it's 2 or 3 hours of knitting, while we're watching TV.
I will say I don't knit in the morning often, because that is, like she's saying, morning I'm running around doing the chores, getting the things done, and all that. And then I try to get everything done the first part of the day so that my evenings can be for me. And a lot of times that is knitting or crocheting or whatever. And the weekends are a lot of it. But like I said, right now when I'm watching my grandson, I don't really knit very much. He's going to be 2 in August. So
he's running around.
He's busy and he literally demands me to go with him where he wants to go. So, yeah, he's busy, or he's in my lap. He and
he literally tells you no. So when you're knitting, she'll be sitting there knitting and he's like, no.
No, yeah.
He tells her no.
Grandma, pay attention,
That's so funny.
Yeah, he also hits my phone always. Sometimes he's just like, pick up the phone, I might be reading some stuff really quick or whatever while he's playing. He'll come over. He'll like push the phone. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
He's right there. He's right.
He is, yeah.
The phone, we don't need that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're right, Adam. You're right. Yeah. I'm going to put it down.
He's a cutie. But yeah, so those were all of the questions. If you have more, put them down below. We'll answer them. But yeah, that's just a little bit about how we organize our time. And, some days you get more knitting in than others, and you just flow with it. In terms of what to work on, we're firmly in the camp of like, bring what makes you joy. So
right now, your design is making me very happy.
Oh, thank you.
That's my favorites happy. Right now. It's perfect.
It's fun to work on. I contemplated like doing another one with everybody. So should we dream knit? Talk about dream knitting.
Dream knitting. Did you not put mine down?
I didn't do anything to yours.
Oh, I see it.
Those right.
Yeah, dream knitting. Okay, I'll start. The Magnus cardigan. It's a crochet cardigan.
Oh.
I bought that pattern right after she released it. I watched Cozy Up Knits. Those sisters. Had it on there, and I was like, oh, I want to. It's gorgeous. And I honestly...
Oh, is that the one that looks like mosaic tiles?
Yeah, and I probably will have to buy the yarn because I want it to look just like that. So I won't stash dive for that.
That's like Megan Balmer, right?
Megan Balmer. Megan Makes Stew. Megan Makes Stew, yes.
Okay, she has a business too.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep, she sews bags. That's in acquisition. So that, we will put a picture in of that one if you haven't seen it yet. And you'll see why I like it.
It's really good. I know what you're talking. It looks like stained glass, kind of.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right, so dream knitting. I am so in love with Telly Bean Knits new release. It was a collab with Lavender Loon. Hi Sam, another one of our local loves in Minnesota. But it is called Gentle Rain, and it is a short sleeve crop color work from top to bottom. Beautiful t-shirt, and Sam currently has kits in her shop, so go check them out. And I know you bought the pattern, right, for that one, for this one,
Oh yes.
the
Oh yeah,
Telly
it's over
Bean.
there.
I haven't purchased the pattern yet. I'm going to, but I'm trying to decide if I think I'm gonna stash dive on this one, just because we got
Right, that's
Rhinebeck
perfect.
coming up.
Stash
And
dive
yeah,
sweaters. That's what I saw. You know, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, totally stash dive for that.
yeah.
Because I have
love
like
it.
one Hanks of lots of stuff. So this is perfect for that.
Yeah,
We've probably already put the picture.
Cool. Any other dream knitting from you?
Yes, time trades. It's a shawl. Put in the picture. You will see it. To me, it's absolutely stunning. I want to knit it. I will use Advent yarns for that. It's by Caitlin Hunter. Oh gosh, it's so. I'm sure part of it is falling in love with the colors she used. But yeah, the shape of it and all that, it's just beautiful. I don't know how I think I saw it on Pinterest or something the other day, came across, and I was like, oh, what is that? Who made that one? So
Yeah.
I am definitely probably, I'm not sure when I'll cast it on. I was going to say probably Christmas. Maybe I will. I probably will end up casting on something for my husband for Christmas because it's really hard to buy him stuff. I'll probably make him another sweater. That's probably what I'm going to do this Christmas.
I love it.
My Advents I got this time were just sock yarn Advents that are in a ball. You know, you already you knit a row, self-striping. That's what I meant to say. So I didn't get any actual big Advents this year because I have so much already here that I want to plug away at getting those used up before I buy anymore.
Yeah,
I know.
should have done the same, but I didn't.
That took some
willpower.
Oh gosh, it did, because I love doing the Advents. But I thought, you know what, the self-striping and knitting a day, I can do that. I can even do 2. I know I can do it, even if I'm knitting Micah a sweater. So.
Listen, I'm investing in my retirement, so I went ahead and got a couple. It's my plan. So my last dream knitting is an oldie but a goodie, and it is the Cinnabar Shawl by Andrea Mowry, and it is knit in a DK and a sport weight, so it's got some spin cycle and a tonal running through, but it's half of it is in garter and the other half of it is in brioche, and so the squish of that. And I just have some yarn that I want to use with it. So that one has been in my library in one of her birthday sales for God knows how long, but I am really trying to use patterns and stash, like patterns from my library and stash, because I bought them for a reason and I loved them at one point. So I'm just trying to work through, and then I get squirreled with like the Gentle Rain and things like that, but whatever. Got to keep giving. Community service, doing our part.
Yes.
So speaking of community service, shall we get into some community service?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to start with Fiber Genie. So
Yay,
she sent us
Jenny.
some very sweet gifts.
Last episode.
Was it last episode? Okay. And yes, it was, because then the next day I was like, I love these. She's, it's great. So I'm going to do an order. And I did.
Her packaging is so cute.
And that's what I want to, the packaging. She puts the little stickers on there. There's another one. I just loved it. And I have refrained from opening this. I've had it for like a week.
She literally cut it open when I got here and hasn't looked inside.
So you guys, this is in there. I'm sorry for the crinkle.
Little Charlie.
You know
That's
what?
her puppy.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be I'm going to double check, but I think she sent something for a giveaway.
Oh, so Charlie is her new post. She got Charlie the same time I got Ruger. So we would go back and forth on Instagram talking about our babies. But this was Charlie's birthday, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that his birthday skein? Charlie's birthday skein?
I think maybe you can look it up. Can you look it up
look.
on your phone?
He's got his little birthday hat on. Charlie's cake pop. Yeah. I thought that was such a cool idea.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a gift. All kinds of goodies in there.
Oh,
I love stroop waffles. You know, the first time I had a stroop waffle, I never even knew about them, but we had went to Europe. My husband travels a lot, and he brought me on one of his trips to Europe, and we were in Amsterdam in the airport there, and if you've been there, there's lots of stroop waffles. And so I was like, I just wanted to bring something home for the kids to have a part of, you know, get to try some European goodies. And then, you know, Mom ended up really loving stroop waffles, and they're so good. You make yourself some tea and you stick them on top, you know, so they get nice and warm. And have you had one?
So my experience with them came from Christina from Chelsea Lux Yarn, and it was in an Advent and then in an order that I got from her. And so I tried it, and did not disappoint. It was very good.
My kids love them too. I am sorry for the crinkles. So this is all the stuff I ordered.
Oh.
Yeah. Some sock sets.
Oh my gosh, her colors are just... So it must have been a giveaway because you got one in here too.
I did.
That's so
I don't remember. But yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. You'll make lots of fun socks with those you can use throughout the...
So how do you want to do this? This giveaway?
You pick.
I would comment. Tell us what you thought of this podcast.
Cool. All right, we'll give it away next time.
I really love reading all those comments. Honestly.
I do too. They're my favorite.
They're like the best. Pick you up, lift you up in the morning. You get on there and your guys' wonderful comments, and then you're like, oh, and you just. So, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the feel good ones, but I also like it when you guys tell us what you're working on, and we feel like where you're from and what you're doing, and it makes me feel like we're getting to know each other. And now we're 5 episodes in, so I'm at the point where, you know, you start to identify the people that are commenting every episode, and then you're learning about them, and then you find each other on Instagram. It's been really fun.
And you know, if you have a critique, we'd love to hear those ones too. Mm-hmm. We're you know, open to hearing what we could do better.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We're old dogs. Might not be able to learn new tricks, but we'll try. Okay, couple of things. I'm going to do my Reds Lady Create. So the gnome bag that you saw earlier, the beach gnomes, I got in the same order as I got this one. So Home Sweet Lemon. I just thought it was such a beautiful, fun summer bag. Mm-hmm. I like the drawstring. She puts, you know, there's her logo. I like the fabric inside is so nice and bright. You can see what's actually in your bag. She puts these in. I'll put, you know, those light bulb stitch markers on there and just permanently put them on there so that I have them in every bag every time. But yeah, so this is one, and it's got the box bottom. It's literally brand new, so it's got lots of space. I haven't really opened it up, but lots of space. I also got, you saw this bag last time because my Cold Sunlight that we're working on for Rhinebeck is in it, but I bought this Notions pouch to go with it. Super cute, just another summer. She gave cutest little tins just full of stuff. So yeah, so those are my bags from Tammy, Reds Lady Creates. And if you haven't gotten her bags, go treat yourself because they are amazing. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I saw this bag. Megan makes do. She's the crocheted cardigan designer too. I don't know, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe. She had these.
So beautiful. I
and
like the colors.
I had to have it. Yeah. So I, yeah, love it. And I have my,
Oh, I like this too. Her little clasp is one of those,
Oh, yeah.
it's like a ring, you know,
Yeah,
binder ring,
easy
binder
to
clip. So you can just undo that, and I'll put my...
There's pockets in here. The pockets.
I love it.
It's a beautiful bag. Well done. I had it with me today. I liked the length on these straps.
Yes.
So I carried it like this because Jen and I parked in the middle of downtown, and we walked to where we had breakfast, and then we walked to the yarn cabin. And I will, at the end of this video, there will be a little video of our morning and visiting the new yarn shop that we are so excited about.
Yes.
The community is what I'm most excited about. Yes, it's wonderful to be able to have a place to go and squish the yarns and see the things, you know, all the yarny things. But the biggest thing is there's a community that is created around local yarn shops, and that is what is exciting me the most.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Speaking of Angie from the Yarn Cabin, she's the dyer behind Pearls and Pines. Check this out. So this is the May subscription. Colorway is Cinco de Mayo. This is a DK yarn. It's 100% superwash merino. It is just, her bases are so good, but I like I don't know if you can see, I love that high twist.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing at speckling.
Now I was thinking about, I have mine. I was honestly last night thought maybe I'd cast on some socks.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. So there's the yarn, and then the goodies. She gave you like a couple of the Margaritaville drink mix packets. And then you may or may not know this about Angie, but she also makes jewelry. So Frolicking Leaves is the name of her jewelry company, but these were so pretty. Mm-hmm. These were in the May box as well.
Cinco de Mayo was the theme, I think. And a little taco.
It's the taco. Oh, it's not gonna, there we go. Super cute.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that was a really fun box.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, like, actually, while we're here, Pearls and Pines. This is the colorway that she did for Shepherd's Harvest. So while we're on the topic, it's the Shepherd's Harvest 2024.
Was last
this is a
weekend.
fingering weight. And I picked it up this morning. She had saved it since we couldn't get down there. But
yeah, we did.
Throw that in since we're talking about her.
So on our little trip this morning, we visited the yarn shop. I couldn't pass away.
Is that the Wild Rice colorway?
Yes. So this is Hummingbird Yarns here in Bemidji. And around this area, Wild Rice is... it's huge. This is where a lot of wild rice comes from. I think you've got the local people have their spots that they go harvest the wild rice. And when I first came here and ate this, I think that is in my memory. That's the first time I ever had wild rice. Did not like it.
Oh, really?
No, I think, my kids don't like it, which makes me a little sad. But I think maybe as their palates mature and they get older, hopefully they'll, but I now cook it in a way that I love it. There's a couple different recipes that I've made up to eat it, and sometimes I actually crave it. And for someone when they first ate it, the very first time I ate wild rice was in Micah made soup, and he made the pheasant and like mushroom soup with the wild rice. I didn't like it.
Was it too gamey or?
Yeah, and might have been a problem. I was pregnant.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Makes things taste funny for some women, and so it got ruined for me for a long time. I'm thinking that's what it was. Sometimes if you had a really bad reaction to a smell or the taste when you're pregnant, or even if right before you're getting sick or something, it might affect you for a long time with eating something. I'm sorry, that was too much, too much information. But yeah, I love it now. So anyways, that's the colorway, Wild Rice, Hummingbird yarn. And then I got this when at the shop today. Bemidji has the Big Pollen Babe. It's one of the top, I think at the top 5 or definitely in the top 10 most viewed or seen, visited attractions in the US are Paul & Babe here and in Bemidji. And yeah, and my husband and I got married, just very tiny, just a couple friends, me and him and our kids, right there at Paul & Babe.
That's so cool.
So our Paul & Babe is special to me.
That's a big deal up here.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
They've been there a long time. I don't remember when they were, but...
I'm almost 50 and I've been coming here since I was 4.
But they've been there like the early...
It used to be an amusement park. They had like the tilt-a-whirl, a train that went all the way around it. It's been there.
And so you see the pictures of when they were first put there, you know, and stuff, and the lake, Bemidji, looks totally different. The landscape, the what's around the lake now and the trees and all different than it was back then.
Okay, stitch markers that I picked up at the yarn cabin. I love these stitch markers, just not in particular, but the brand in general, which is not on the card. It says they're handmade in California, but I've gotten some at Northfield before, but I just loved the mushroom, the acorns, just super fun. Do you have more acquisitions?
Nope.
Okay. This is Maya Barocco. It is 85% Pima cotton, 15% baby alpaca, and I won 7 skeins of this from iRock Knits.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was going to give it to me at Shepherd's Harvest, but I won it off of her podcast. So if you haven't watched Corey from iRock Knits, she's a pretty cool format where she interviews people talking about their favorite knits, and she's got her Patreon. And in fact, I did her Patreon Zoom last night. That was really fun. People from all over the place. So I'll do a fun summer cotton garment t-shirt probably with this. And then since we last got together, local yarn shop day, OIS day happens. And Lamb and Kid, I'm a sucker for. I came home with a boatload of stuff from them. I just love their yarn is soft, squishy. And I didn't bring all of what I purchased, but this is the Lamb and Kid. It's an 85% merino, 15% nylon, and it is the color Noir. It's a fingering weight. And I know it's black, but I bought black also at Sweater Camp earlier this year, Tibetan Cloud by Mayak. So I have 2 sweater quantities now. I got 11 of these. So I have 2 sweater quantities between that and this. And I want 2 classic black sweaters, 1 cardigan, 1 sweater in my wardrobe. And I'm thinking I'm going to do like the cardigan, the Felix, where it has those beautiful like eye drop, or, you know.
Yep, I've made that cardigan.
Have you? Yeah. So I also, and for local yarn shop day, they did like 30% off. It was a pretty good discount. So I also got this Monstro. This is a bulky weight. It's 100% fine merino. And I got 10 of these. So I'll do some sort of garment. And it's, I originally ordered Pitch. It's a black color. And they were like, oh no, we don't have it. They're like, but the classic is close. And I was like, actually the classic is what I wanted, but they didn't have enough of the quantity that I wanted. And it's just like it's more of a blue. It's got like, instead of black, it's got some gray, more of a gray charcoal blue hue to it. So that will,
and they got you the sweater, the quantity you wanted?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So on this one, I ended up getting 10 of those. And then, I always like building my mohair stash. So this is, and I like building my mohair stash when it's a blend, not just mohair, but this is 76% more mohair and 24% silk. It's their Momo base. That's MHO. And I love the beautiful, just the dark color or the olive color. It's Grand Forest is the color. So yeah, so those are my acquisitions. It's a lot. If I had brought all the yarn, I'd be like, but one was enough. You can imagine the sweater quantity.
I get the gist.
Yeah. So with that, I think that is all we have for you today. We're going to put some footage in the end to Karina's point about the yarn cabin so that you all can see that. Don't forget to win Charlie's cake pop from the lovely Jeannie of Fiber Jeannie. just comment below. We'd love to hear any feedback you have about your experience watching this video, whether it is something you want to cheer us on about or something you'd like us to pay attention to and maybe consider doing differently. So any comment below. We will see you again in 3 weeks, and until then, bring what makes you joy. Bye.